on Twitter, they can tweet with you. I believe it's at Mohall28. Am I right?
You are correct. Mohall28. Yeah, hit me up on Twitter, and I'll definitely respond to you.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Maurice, and good luck with Baker's Man.
Thanks so much.
All right, I appreciate it. Maurice Hall, former Ohio State Buckeye running back, national champion in 2002, actor, motivational speaker, and a really great interview. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed being here, that's for sure. Let's take a break and short show my rear end. Let me tell you, we're you gotta love the timing of things here on the sport. That's how we roll on the Sports Fix on a Wednesday afternoon. Thank you again, Maurice Hall, for joining us. You guys can tweet with him at Mohall28. You can check on the movie at Indiegogo.com. Search for Maurice Hall. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan's going to join us. We'll talk to him about a little Buckeyes. We might as well keep the Buckeye talk going. We'll talk some Indians, some Tribe as well. Update you on the game. I've got to update me on the game. And then we'll get you some news in the break and be right back with Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan coming up next here on the Sports Fix.
How you gonna do it if you really won't take a chance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up. Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it.
And now, a very special announcement from the Sports Fix.
Black bears weigh between 200 and 500 pounds. Brown bears weigh between 300 and over 1,000 pounds. Black bears run away from you. Brown bears run at you. When attacked by a bear, simply lie still on the ground and cover your face and head with your hands. When the bear has finished batting you around and mauling you, contact the U.S. Forest Service.
And that was a message from the Sports Fix.
Hey guys, before we go to the break, I want to talk to you a little bit again about our good friends at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. Of course, you know during Brown season, we're there each and every week. What a fun time it was last year. But not just that, so many more reasons for you to check out the Harry Buffalo today. The UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championships, some of the hottest fights in the world today. Each and every one of their huge events. Harry Buffalo is one of the few places in Northeast Ohio you can go there and watch each and every UFC fight at the Harry Buffalo. And let me tell you, I've been there. The people are out the door. They are to the rafters. It is one of the craziest environments for some UFC fights. Wing Mondays, they've got great deals on wings and drinks. And every day of the week, there's a different special, a different deal. And don't forget the Bison Burger, the unbelievable. It is the combination of a fantastic burger and eating healthy combined into one unbelievable sandwich. You have got to get a Bison Burger while you're there. So whatever you're looking for, whatever day of the week, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sundays, there's something for you at the Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great Northern Mall. Check them out today. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Hey, this is Scott Fujita, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Business owners and professionals, do you want to take your business, your product, your team, your event to the next level? You want to advertise right here with the Sports Fix. Our listeners are among the most loyal listeners, terrestrial or internet. The Sports Fix universe is not only the radio show, but tens of thousands of fans on Facebook and Twitter. Email me, Jerry Myers, thesportsfix@AOL.com. That's thesportsfix@AOL.com. And let me help you swing for the fences and hit it out of the park right here on the Sports Fix.
Sports Fix listeners, do you tweet? So do we. So tweet with us 24/7 at the Sports Fix CLE.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your automotive car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. They're open late Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. and open early Saturday so you can check it off your to-do list and get on with your day. They also have a newly remodeled service lounge and additional service bay just for Quick Lane oil changes. Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck is located at 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 Bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 Bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. quicklane.com/Valley Ford Truck. That's quicklane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Signs and Ship, the official printing source of the Sports Fix. Locations in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Florida. Find out more at signsandship.com.
News break.
Good morning, I'm Bob Picozzi. He helped guide Denver to 6 Super Bowl appearances and 2 Super Bowl championships. The Broncos announced this morning that Pat Bowlen has stepped down as the team's owner because of his battle with Alzheimer's disease and control of the franchise. Rams coach Jeff Fisher says there will be the ability of rookie Michael Sam, who's the first open tomorrow. New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick said this morning tight end Rob Gronkowski has been cleared by doctors and won't be put on the active, physically unable to perform list. He's recovering from a torn ACL. Dodgers manager Don Mattingly says he's toying with the idea of moving all-star Yasiel Puig from right field to center.
Forget the holidays. The best time of year is fantasy football season, and the most important decision is where to host your draft party. So go with the league favorite. With wall-to-wall TVs and hand-spun wings, there's no better way to kick off the season. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings. Beer. Sports.
Now, back to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix live on the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you guys. Jerry Myers rolling on. Thanks again for the last, hour. Great conversation. Maurice Hall, former Ohio State Buckeye running back, national champion in 2002, actor, sportscaster, movie writer. He's got it all going on. Motivational speaker and a fantastic interview. So thank you very much to Maurice for joining us. Thanks to you guys for hanging with us here as we roll on hour 2. Much later announcement of hour 2 than usual, but it is indeed hour 2. No score on the Indians and the Twins as I check in on that, unless I'm wrong about that, because the Twins did have somebody on during the break. But I'm going to go to the phone lines and keep the conversation going in just a moment. My man Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan with us, as he is every Wednesday, so you can't call just yet. But you can talk to us all day long on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. All right, guys, I'm going to go to the phones now. In fact, let's just pull up my man Dan Wismar. Dan, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great, Jerry. I enjoyed the Maurice Hall interview. Nicely done. Interesting and happy for him that he's found what he likes to do and is chasing it full bore. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. But I thought there was some interesting twists and turns in the whole thing, and so many times, you only see the story, the headline, but to be the big fish and then to be knocked down and then and then to get your spot again and then be injured and lose it. I mean, that's the frustration. And then, how many guys, that's why I asked him that question. How many guys, that moment that they get cut from the NFL team, from the professional team, whatever it is, that's the first moment in their life where the thought has even been considered that's not going to be what they do for the rest of their life.
Yeah, that's true. And the story about being told that, not from a coach or not from, an authority figure, that he wasn't starting when instead the hotshot freshman Maurice Clarett is going to come in and start, and maybe that too was the first time in his life when he had ever not been the man, and it happens to any high school player that comes into big time college football or college sports when you have that first dose of humility, that first cold water splash on your face, and where you're not the starter, the lead guy, the lead dog, whatever, and it's humbling, I'm sure, for those guys, and because you hear so many people relate stories like that.
And the other things that I thought, there was a lot I found interesting, but, because I knew his story before I had him on. That was why I said, hey, I'd love to talk to him. There were so many different aspects. I liked, we talk so much, and it's truth. It's not just talk about the shark-like nature of college sports and the financial sides and all of these different, especially we're hearing about the lawsuits and should they pay players. And you always hear the cutthroat stuff. And even with Jim Tressel, the stain of the way he left Ohio State sticks with him much more than stories like, even hearing him, Maurice Hall's knowledge. Jim Tressel, reaches out and tries to patch a former player up, able to take advantage of. And the fact that, and Ohio State providing, whether it was Gene Smith with that internship, I like the human aspect that whether it was Ohio State or it could be University of Timbuktu, reaching out to guys when they no longer offer anything of tangible benefit to you. They give a lot, regardless if they get an education. And I thought that was cool to hear that he didn't even make the first reach out. It was Jim Tressel that called somebody and said, hey, I think Maurice Hall could use an opportunity and he would be great for this. And then boom, there it is.
Well, you're right. And it's just another example of countless stories that I've heard. And I'm sure it's not unique to Ohio State and Jim Tressel, but Jim Tressel is so admirable in so many ways, regardless of what happened there, because this is the kind of thing he did routinely, and the fact that he did it without fanfare, without the player asking him to, without the media knowing about it. Tressel, for all of his many good works, did an awful lot to deflect media attention from what he was doing, because that's not why he was doing it. Maurice Hall is just one of many, many former Tressel players who have stories much like that about things that Jim Tressel did for them. The best example of that to me, Jerry, is how of all the people in Jim Tressel's career that he could have been, bitter at, would be Maurice Claret, who really drew all that unnecessary attention to himself when they were out there in the days preceding the national championship game. He went to the media and complained that the team wasn't flying him home for the funeral of his acquaintance from Youngstown who was killed in the street somehow. And it was a big flap nationally. And, obviously then Maurice gets kicked out of school and brings embarrassment to the program by insurance fraud, et cetera, et cetera. But I tell you, when Maurice Claret was getting out of jail and needing a leg up, there was Jim Tressel, the first guy there to help him get into the semi-pro football league and just be there for the guy. And I understand that they are still communicating regularly, because Maurice Claret says as much on his Twitter feed that he still talks to Tressel all the time. And it's just an example of the grace of the man. Obviously he left the program in an embarrassing way and in a way that was disgrace for the program. But that doesn't change the man that Jim Tressel is and was. I have immense admiration for the guy.
I knew it. Like, as soon as you started, I said, I know where he's going to connect the dots here. He's going to go right from one Maurice to the other, because it was the perfect segue. But you're right. And I've heard a lot of people made that similar point, too. We've talked about that before. Hey, speaking of former Buckeyes, I meant to ask you this on Monday. Actually, you set me up. You go, hey, you said Buckeyes at the beginning. You got anything for me? And I just totally blanked. And so the second that we went to break on Monday, I remembered what I was going to talk to you about. So I'll bring it up here while we're talking about former Buckeyes. Aaron Craft, 2 summer leagues, not one. That boy went out and played in 2 summer leagues trying to get himself a spot, and a lot of word that he may have worked himself in to that third point guard opportunity there at Golden State. What do you think? Does Aaron Craft end up at the next level? We've talked about it before when he was at Ohio State, but now he's putting the work in. He's definitely impressing some people. If Matthew Dellavedova, I think they play a similar style is the comparison I'm making. If there's a roster spot for him, there's a roster spot somewhere for Aaron Craft, wouldn't you think?
Well, I would hope so. It would be great to see. Whether Aaron Craft can ever give an NBA team enough offense to justify a roster spot is obviously still an open question, and I have my doubts. I don't deny that. But what he can bring in terms of energy and distribution, and most importantly, defense at the point, certainly any NBA franchise would find those skills valuable, whether they can balance the need for that kind of defense with really just not requiring themselves to get any kind of offense from him, because he doesn't have an NBA jump shot and probably never will. And I don't know that he can penetrate and go to the rim like he was able to do often in college against NBA defenders. And can he do anything against the defense that will be thrown at him by a first-rate NBA point guard? So all those questions yet to be answered. But the fact that he's out there and that he opens some eyes